Welcome to the Killshot Tournament Season 1. I'm Longshot.
And I'm Kaleido.
That's right. And this is Game 1 between BadMofo, spawning in the southwest corner of Tal'Darim Altar, and his opponent is going to be that panda-loving man, gfGPanda. That's right. They are both going to be spawning as Terran. And this map is just ginormous.
Absolutely. And they're spawning cross position, so this is going to be a pure eco-friendly mech build probably for both of these Terran players. I mean, it's actually insane how big this map is and how much time you have to defend and how many nice choke points you have to defend all your bases. So I'm expecting a lot of siege tanks. I'm expecting a lot of positional advantages, and I'm expecting also a really long game. So
yeah, you know, especially in TVT nowadays, like the game is just long.
Yeah, it just is. I mean, you know, it's with TVT, the Terran has such a defender's advantage versus any kind of aggression that it makes it very, very difficult to break siege tank lines, to do drops when there's a flock of Vikings on the field patrolling all the bases. You know, it makes it very difficult to kind of break up the huge like defense that a Terran can set up very, very easily. We're even seeing like a lot of the metagame stuff involves putting turret rings around certain areas to just completely lock down that area for drops and Vikings and stuff like that.
So it's like similar that we saw in the K-Tussin game, where like he puts a turret all the way at the third, even though he doesn't even have anything there yet.
Absolutely, and it's completely a positional thing, because if the other opponent flies his Vikings over the turrets, Vikings are pretty bad against turrets, so you'll be in pretty good shape, and you get to spot the Viking flock. So it's pretty good to do that for sure.
Yeah, pretty much. And right now, I mean, both players are going to be able to get the scout off on each other. We can see that Mo is opting to get the orbital command really early, but unfortunately, you know, gfGPanda gets it way before Mofo, so maybe it was a little bit late.
It was a tad late. I think he built it on 16 instead of 15, which can cost you like that extra mule mining time that makes up for having less SCVs when you build the orbital. But I think we're going to see, I mean, pretty much mirror builds here. Both of these players are going barracks factory into gas, so we're going to see a lot of tech come out. Again, like on this map, on this tremendous space that you have to defend, you definitely want to be getting siege tanks very, very quickly. So I have a feeling that's really all we're going to see. I mean, there's probably not going to be a lot of shenanigans like blue flame drops and marine early aggression, nothing like that, because on this map it's way too fragile and it's actually not worth doing, and I think both of these players know this, evidenced by the fact that gfGPanda is going to be dropping a starport, and so is Mo.
I mean, wow, I mean, honestly, like, the timings on this is just like, you know, looking at a mirror.
Yeah, they are doing exactly a mirror build right now.
Yeah, but you know what? Speaking of these, like, players, like, I mean, these players, how they got here was just pretty amazing. I mean, you know, you could tell that, like, BadMofo, I mean, he's a top platinum player, and also gfGPanda is as well, but, you know, like, they got here pretty well. I mean, they did lose a few games, but I think BadMofo really took advantage against his games as well. But I mean, he learned a lot in his games, because I believe he was against another Terran player.
Yes, he already has played a TVT this round. So
yeah, and I think gfGPanda played a random player, if I'm not correct, which was Avenge, and you know, he played both a Protoss and he played a Zerg player as well. So you know, he hasn't played a Terran build or the Terran game yet. So you know, the fact that, you know, he's going to be finally versing, you know, Mo as a Terran, you know, he's going to get the advantage for seeing those builds. But right now, you know, Mo's going to be poking at the front right now.
Alright, he's going to do a nice little poke here. He's going to check out, see the factory building a reactor, so he knows Hellions are coming out of this factory very, very quickly. He does not know about these Banshees, though. I kind of like this. I mean, gfGPanda is kind of taking like the slow route to tanks, where you build a lot of the lower tier units just to harass, to try to do a little bit of damage. And actually, Banshees can do very, very well in TVT.
Yeah, but luckily Mo did have his Hellion, I believe. Yeah, his Hellion on the watchtower, and he did see that Banshee fly over. So I don't know if he's gonna be prepared for this because I don't see any type of reaction from him just yet. But
He did retreat all his Marines, so he probably did see
oh, there's that
something.
Viking coming out right now. There we go, and it's gonna be catching that Banshee, and that Banshee doesn't have cloak at all, and he's got to be running away. Run!
Oh, he's not gonna make it. He does not
No.
have cloak. Mo is responding with building a Banshee of his own, and he's gonna be sending that directly to the base, just rallied directly in there. So,
Well,
interesting play by both these players. I mean, Mo will be getting tanks first, though. So
yeah, and did he research Siege yet? Oh, there he
he's
goes.
starting it now. Yes.
Yeah, I just started it just now, so. And that Banshee is just going to be running back to its base. I did not research Cloak. I don't think any of these guys researched Cloak. I think it's
No,
just
neither of them did. I mean, cloak is kind of a big investment, especially if you want to be spending a lot of your gas on tanks. We are seeing though, tank production starting for gfGPanda here. He did swap swap his starport with his factory here, and he will be getting a bunch of medevacs very, very quickly. He pretty much abandoned this Banshee play, but here comes Mo's Banshee. Is he going to be able to do more damage than Panda and actually secure a slight lead on this exact mirror build that we have seen?
oh, because I don't think gfGPanda has any Vikings out on the field. No, he doesn't have any type of Vikings at all. I mean, he does have 6 Marines, which I believe he's going to be sending back.
Oh, but Mo, you have to micro your Banshee.
Oh!
This is. He needs to
Oh
micro.
my gosh, he is trying to micro as much as he can, but he thinks he's just gonna place it right there at the edge of the base.
You can actually kite Marines with a Banshee if you have good enough micro and good enough APM. You can actually continually hit Marines before they can hit you, because a Banshee does have range 6, and Marines actually only have range 5. So if you're good enough and you know what the range looks like, you can actually pull away pretty well. But Mo, I don't think even knows that, because he just ran away scared from those Marines.
Yeah, but if we do take a look at the APMs tab, I don't think Mo does have enough APMs for that. But you know what? I mean, his current APMs is right now is pretty much mirroring gfGPanda, but I mean, you can tell by the averages that it drops off from here now and again. But right now,
we are going to see Hellions come into Mo's base here.
oh, the Hellions are going to be coming in and, wow, doing so much damage against all of those SCVs. But, man, he's going to be trying to get those tanks up in the front. But you know what? It's not going to be enough.
That was 16 SCVs that went down.
Takes out that one SCV, building that command center, and, wow, just gets completely unscathed. Looking at the workers killed count, 16 workers killed from gfGPanda, whereas BadMofo only killed 5 in his Banshee harass. So
this is actually tremendous, though, because BadMofo did not realize that the worker building his expo went down.
Oh my
Still
gosh.
hasn't realized it.
Yeah.
Still hasn't realized it. He does not know about this. He just thinks it's building right now. So he's going to realize when Panda is taking his second right now, he's going to be like, oh, it's time to lift my... Oh, crap, it's not built yet. And that's going to be a tremendous blunder.
Wow.
When he notices that, he's going to be so sad.
And you know what? It's probably the fact that he doesn't have any type of SCVs that are like in the queue. Like if you press F1, you know, you always get that like, oh, those are the SCVs that aren't building. Well,
Right.
normally he sees this building, he should be like, oh, well, there must be like an SCV building it. But unfortunately, he just didn't catch that in time. And now he's just going to be completely delayed. He's moving out to his natural, and he's like, wait a second. My expansion's not done. Ah, throws down a mule. He throws down a mule, and still, like, at this moment, like, he's now, like, really becoming far behind because the gfGPanda is, you know, finally, like, you know, getting his natural saturated. And
Yeah, this is actually way too long to not notice that your natural's not finished yet. Like,
man.
you should absolutely have the expo here. And even Panda scans and there's no expo, and that must be really awkward.
And he finally puts that SCV that was chilling by the barracks and finish up that command center. But right now, I mean, you can see the difference now in the income tab. Just like the amount of SUVs that Mo has lost is he only has 17, and gfGPanda has 41. I mean, he's just the economic lead that gfGPanda is in right now.
Right, it's
Just
actually
amazing.
a crushing lead. I mean, again, just looking at the income tab, it's so substantially more income that Panda is getting to build more and more units that the food count we're just gonna see skyrocket out of Panda here.
And right now, Panda is going to be taking 2 Banshees. The one from the previous match, or the previous match. Yeah, he brought a Banshee from the previous match. He was going to be coming in. He's going to be doing some harass here a little bit, at least poking the front a little bit. But honestly, he doesn't even have a cloak, and the Marines are going to be cleaning that up. Oh!
Nice play. And Mo also does have medevacs coming all the way across the map here. He does have about 16 Marines in these 2 medevacs, and he's going to have to do a substantial amount of damage with this drop to try to catch up here, because he is 30 food behind and increasingly more and more as this will go on. So
Yeah, and the harvester count is just so far behind as well. I mean, gfGPanda is like already 20 harvesters ahead of BadMofo right now. So I mean,
not only that, he already has +1. He already has all the tech that he wants for the meantime. He's building more and more factories at the front, going to be getting more and more of these siege tanks and Vikings. He's actually just going to, again, like, build this immense siege tank line and totally defend his front here. But we do see the drop going down.
And the drop goes down right on top of those tanks. And the tanks can't even do anything about it. Boom, they go down. Hopefully Mo does a lot of damage against all these SCVs. While a lot of SCVs are going down, he really should be taking out the other SCVs. I mean, he needs to take out...
Oh, but he focuses down the refinery instead of these supply depots.
Oh, all of his buddies get taken out by
critical mistake, and now all of these Vikings are going to come in and just clean up these medevacs. Ooh, that was a terrible, terrible drop, actually, by BadMofo. He did not even do close to enough damage. He did kill... Looks like he killed 21 workers in that, which is not bad if we look at the income. Yeah, he's gotten closer. It is now 26 to 35 workers. So he did do a substantial amount of damage before Panda reacted and pulled away these workers, but it's not quite enough to give him the lead that he needs to be able to end this game. So we're going to have to see if he can keep chipping away at Panda's lead here and maybe do enough damage that he can maybe take out this player.
Yeah, right now Mo is just really up against the ropes right now. I mean, he really needs to be pumping out SCVs. I feel like, I mean, he has 2 bases, and unfortunately he's not creating any type of SCVs out of those bases. And, you know, he is just going to be bordering up along his base with a few turrets. Wow, actually, the ring of turrets has commenced. Wow, he has a lot of turrets now that I'm looking at
this is actually, again, like as we were talking about in some other games that we casted, you cannot overcommit to putting turrets all over the place. It's actually so expensive. It's so expensive to do that, and it's not worth it because you can actually defend with way less than that. Turrets are pretty good on their own.
Yeah, and currently right now, I mean, I can understand the reasoning because he's got a lot of Vikings. So maybe, you know, but I haven't seen a lot of Viking harass.
Right, I think he's mostly scared of the few Banshees that he saw, but again, he took those out. Like, no one is going to be remaking their Banshees really around this timing. Barring few exceptions, if you're going for a heavy air style assault, you definitely want a lot more Banshees. But it's quite clear that Panda is going to be going for this this siege line Viking mix, and
yeah, it seems like he's going to be going a very mech build.
Right.
Whereas Mo, he's got, let's take a look at the units tab right now. I mean, he's got a lot of bio, 23 Marines with 7 Marauders and 5 tanks, whereas, you know, you see gfGPanda, he's got 13 Hellions, you know, and just like a lot of mech, 13 tanks. I mean, it's just pretty much all mech.
Absolutely, he's completely mech at this point, and like, you don't... The likelihood of seeing more Banshees